Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I am your host and game master, Ian Duncan, and sweating here with me are the ones and the onlys. Firstly, Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, my name is Jamie Bones. Today I play Elo, the modified medical droid.
Yes, comrade. Thank you. Thank you for coming, comrade. So glad you're here. So glad we're all here. And next is comrade Alex Herrera.
I'm not gonna do that.
Come on!
You are idolizing a regime of horror. Hello, Ski. My name is Alexi Herrera. I am playing Beegax Botano, dog slicer in Molester. Slice dogs you.
I love it. He is funny guy, this one. This Alexi.
We're gonna get a letter from Vladimir Putin himself. It's like,
Cease and desist.
You think you're funny? I'll see you soon.
Hey, we love Russian people. Russian leadership can go fuck themselves.
There you go. There it is.
Pretty much all leadership. I don't think we just have to say Russian.
Thank you.
Woo, no, there's one leader I admire. The Prime Minister of New Zealand. I think she's a fantastic lady.
Ooh.
Doing an amazing job. New Zealand, way to go. If you're listening in from New Zealand, adopt me and my girlfriend and my cat, please.
You can go live in the Shire.
That would be lovely. But that's off genre. Out of genre. Let's take instead a trip to the stars and jump into a galaxy far, far away. Can't say that because I already say that. And now it's going to be double. Whatever.
Bam,
Yeah.
That's what it is. As soon as you say whatever, you just jump.
Whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Episode 23, To Kill a Hutt. On the return trip couriering from the Imperial base on Scarif, the crew of the Way panicked after plowing into a pod of pesky purrgils, knocking their ship out of light speed. Elo believed they were on the verge of understanding their strange glitches, and once again recruited Beegax's help to slice into their own mind. However, the delve into the droid's depths went much deeper than they expected, pulling Beegax and Elo into a strange miasma. Pushing for answers, Elo found themselves on the planet Dathomir among the mysterious Nightsisters during a surprise attack by Separatist forces. Both fringers made it back firmly aboard their ship, but with unanswered questions, unexplained experiences, and unfinished business.
First, let's do another Destiny roll.
Ugh. It spun, and it was gonna land on one light side, and it hit the other dice, 2 dark side points.
No. Well, I got 1 light side.
Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it.
I rolled 1 dark side.
No.
So 3 dark, 1 light. Our camera pans over in some unknown quadrant of space, somewhere between the Imperial occupied Scarif and the wild frontier of the Outer Rim's Socorro. Though, plenty of Imperials there too. Hanging in the sky, battle-scarred and sparking, is a familiar ship sitting in the common room of this YT-2400 freighter, dripping wet. Firstly, a Doug. Clothes-soaked, pools of water expanding at his feet. What is Beegax thinking and doing at this moment?
So, Beegax back aboard the Way, because apparently he went somewhere. He'll look to Verse and say, what happened? As water falls from his snout.
What? What do you mean, what happened? Why are you wet?
What the... Did I like go somewhere? Was I here or what? What did you see?
I just walked in. You're plugged into Elo. and you're both soaking wet.
Griff. Okay. Well, I'm not sure, but I think... He points to his head. I think I went somewhere. And Elo was there, and they pulled me out.
You went somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, it sure the hell wasn't helping me fix the ship. You guys are fooling about up here. And as Verse, this human woman going off on Beegax, Elo sitting also here in this space, covered in water dripping off out of your circuits from the crevices of your body. A small medical unit, a little orb with little anthropomorphized digital eyes, worried and frantic, is sort of like spinning around you in a concerned circle. What is Elo thinking and doing in this moment?
Elo is sort of tuning out any sort of conversation happening, and they are holding up their hands and just sort of like twisting them back and forth. Only moments ago were they no longer a droid and they were a woman. So they're trying to sort of reorient themselves into the current state, which is Elo, modified medical droid. And they're going to start to sort of pull out all of these plugins that Beegax had set up to sort of hotwire them. And as they're doing this, they're going to reach out over to Barney and hold their hand, hoping that he would sit in it. And Elo will bring Barney close and sort of like begin to reassuringly pet Barney as Elo is looking back and forth between Verse and Beegax in their conversation. And will just say, I am very confused as to what the reality is. And looking at Beegax is going to ask, did we actually leave the ship?
He'll look back, scratching the back of his neck. I'm not sure. I mean, he looks at his hands, there's water dripping, water coming off his snout. As, all signs point to yes. But I don't remember doing anything besides sitting here and trying to get into your mind there.
Elo was gonna put Barney up on their shoulder. And is there any way to sort of pull up, like, GPS log? I want to know if we were teleported somewhere or something, you know what I mean? Like, did we actually leave the ship physically?
Yes, actually, you can absolutely do that. Every ship jump is typically recorded.
Okay.
And certainly there would be a log of it on the ship. Right now, unless you accessed it by, again, getting into the ship data, it would be a screen that you could easily look at in the cockpit.
Okay, and so I think without really saying anything, Elo's going to stand up and walk away, headed towards the cockpit to sort of check this out.
Elo leaves and goes to the cockpit, hits a couple of buttons, brings up the ship log. It has data about the jump to Scarif, and then the jump to Socorro, an interruption, collision, alarm, but no other destination on it. Certainly nothing indicating the planet Dathomir.
That's so weird. Okay.
You can hear Verse, I've been here the whole time. What do you mean you went somewhere? Where did you go? What's happening?
Beegax talks to Verse. Look, I was here, doing the thing, trying to look into Elo's mind, and I thought I got close to them, and then suddenly I opened my eyes like I blinked or something, and I was in water. I don't know if my mind went, if my body went. You know what? The more I think about it, the more it sounds like kind of hokey-fooey Jedi stuff.
Jedi stuff?
Yeah, like stuff to do with the mind over the body. I never really understood it. But, and he'll think about the whales, and he'll stop. Those whales.
You mean the purrgils?
Yeah, they got anything to do with the Force, and he does like the quotation marks, weighty, like, ooh.
If you want to talk Force stuff, you got your friend Obram. You can talk. Nothing I know. I don't know from purrgils. I know they can apparently jump into hyperspace.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
And they like to mess up ships, or at least mess up the travel.
Yeah, Beegax will nod. Yeah, that drop was a little unexpected, but I don't think it should happen again. Just as long as we don't plug Elo into the navigation computer, keep them away from it, I think we'll be fine.
Well, okay, I did what I could. Don't know if it's any better than it was, but at least it's not pouring out steam, huh?
Well, if you had to gauge it, let's say 25 being the best and 0 being our ship explodes, where would you say we are at currently?
Low.
Okay.
I think the hyperdrive at least is still online, though. That I know.
Ah. Well, that's good. That's a good start.
I think we could make a jump back to Socorro unless there are other interruptions. You gotta go somewhere, or there's some more Griffin space whales.
None that I know of. As he kind of looks at his deck and then at the data pad and his gun, kind of make sure it's still there. Let's get this set up. Stumble to the cockpit as he's very unsure of what happened. Get into the seat and plot a course for Socorro.
Verse just looks down at the trail of water that Beegax is leaving.
As Beegax walks into the cockpit, he's probably going to see Elo trying to figure out our transportation log, also looking up Dathomir, seeing how far away that is in terms of where we are compared to where it is,
Dathomir from Socorro and Scarif is basically on the other side of the core.
Great, cool.
In Star Wars, the core world, which is Coruscant, that's the big city capital. That's sort of the center of the galaxy. That's kind of what the core of civilization is, and you are on one side, Dathomir is on the other side, so quite a ways away.
Yeah, I see it. It's in, you know where it is? Looking at the galaxy map? Mandalorian space. Ooh,
oh snap!
Cool.
Yeah, it's very close to Mandalore. Or
Let's go say hi to the remnants of the Mandalorians. Say what's up.
And I did have a follow-up question for you, Ian, in terms of the timeline. So, General Grievous and the fall of Dathomir, it sounds like, happened how long ago? In present?
It would have been the exact time you don't know.
Okay.
Because the attack is not something that's very public, and the Nightsisters, they were secretive to begin with, so news coming out of Dathomir is almost unheard of. But I'm sorry, this is a long way to answer your question. It would have been definitely towards the end of the Clone Wars, which is over.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, Beegax would have walked in on Elo researching that, and as soon as they walk into the cockpit, Elo's gonna look up. I'm not sure where to go from here. I can't seem to find any relevant information about what happened.
He doesn't even look at them, he just continues plotting the course. My experience has always been best to leave some questions unanswered. The most important thing is, we got out of there, and you're never plugging into that Navi computer until we get someone besides myself to look inside that chrome dome of yours. Not that I don't trust myself or you, it's just there's something else in there. Something aggressive. And to be honest, and I hate being honest, far superior than me at cyber war. I'm gonna need help. And he'll think about it for a second as he says this. Let's go find your You're missing Both and Verse, yeah.
Okay. As long as... Is it dangerous?
It can be. If we bother it again, it probably, it might take us back to that place, or somewhere different, who knows. And then he'll look to Elo and say, that's a weird question to ask, but most droids can't remember their manufacturing date or their startup time, because they've been wiped before. Have you ever been wiped?
I assume so, yes. I can't remember much before when Gertute took me over.
You ever been to Dathomir that you can remember?
Not until recently.
Wow. Very hard to believe, but based on the evidence I found, we're gonna have to work off that assumption. And he'll plot the course for Socorro.
Alex, in terms of like your slicing abilities, would you say Chai Chai is more experienced than you? Like, could he help us?
Ooh, that's a good question. I never thought about that. I don't think he is.
You've said before, Chai Chai is a good slicer, but he's not as good as Beegax.
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely increase Beegax's abilities for sure. Like having him as like a backup, yeah, that was like,
sidekick.
Support. yeah. It would be super. It would work really. It would work much better than him by himself.
I was just curious.
Beegax's head. That's pretty. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's a good point to make actually, because we might not have made it a clear point before. But I think in his head, when he's thinking about like I need help, that's exactly who he's thinking about. Because he knows he's alive, but he just doesn't remember if it's Dantooine or Tatooine. And if I remember correctly, Chai Chai answered the question. An A/B question with a yes, and not answer A or answer B.
That's Chai Chai, I guess, yeah?
Chai Chai is 100% loyal. He may not be 100% reliable.
No, yeah. So it's a 50-50 shot, but we have other things to finish, like getting Papa Baby Jr. Bothan, and then getting away from both the Hutts and the Triumvirate.
Not to mention dropping off all of this stuff for your friend, Mr. Hutt.
And he'll close his eyes as he's reminded of this. Yeah. And he will, once the coordinates are made, make the jump to light speed, and he's gonna whisper a little prayer. I know I don't believe in you that much, but please, Force, don't let those pirates be there. And he's gonna start the jump.
The way jumps away into hyperspace. No purrgils, an uninterrupted journey. Unless there's anything you want to discuss or take care of while you are in hyperspace, the journey goes uninterrupted.
I think Beegax is pretty much ready to go. The only thing he's doing is checking his weapons. He's like, in case, when you have to get a shootout with any Triumvirate goons, he's gonna make sure his disruptor pistol, which he spent a lot of money on, is in good shape. Especially
since it got all wet.
Yeah.
It's a future gun. It's fine. Or I guess not. I guess it's a past gun, but it's a sci-fi gun. So yeah, those weapons are fine. Your ship comes out into the just outside of the Socoran space, and it's quiet. The chunks of asteroids float in this great belt or this great field that creates a strange moving barrier between you and the planet. And you want to do a scan to see if there's any pirates, right?
Yeah, some pirates, my boy. Oh, hello! I don't want to hear him. I don't want to fucking hear him. I don't want to see him.
Oh, hey, I'm right behind you.
No. And I'm backing up the ship and we're dying. We're going to kill ourselves.
Just crash into the planet. Yeah, we give up.
I think that's just going to be a simple computer check. So, so one perps. Yeah.
Yeah. I got 3 success, 2 advantage, and a 0 face on the purple dice.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a very good roll.
That's the best roll I've gotten in the last game and this game. So
Nothing's coming up. You're looking for other ships, other signatures, other like fuel signatures, stuff like that. But it seems like the way is clear.
The way is clear. Beegax rubs his chin out of stress. How likely is it that big ship has, like, jamming or cloaking? He's kind of asking his crew, just Elo and Verse, as I assume they're both in the cockpit with him.
Let's just make sure we get on planet fast.
Alright, agreed. And then he will move as fast as he can in sublight speeds.
Verse asks you, where are we landing?
Hutt territory, I think, is best.
Oh, okay, like right outside the casino?
Yeah, well, they got landing bays, don't they?
There's plenty of places we can land if that's where we're going.
Well, yeah, I'm also trying to avoid our other business buddies for now.
Oh, yeah. Man, you make a lot of friends here on Sokro, huh?
It happens when you're skilled. I'd like not to talk about it anymore, thank you.
Give me a piloting check.
Oh,
We'll call it average, and I'm going to throw a black die in for difficult terrain.
Next character I make is gonna be a pilot, guys. That's for sure. Oh no! Oh, okay, no, that's the wrong one. 1 success. That's it. Everything else canceled out.
All right, you're able to get through to the asteroid. You're able to get through this asteroid field and arrive into atmosphere on planet. If you want to land right outside, as you know, the casino, very easy to spot, and it is being built on the outside of the city, so certainly places to land a ship if that is where you want to land.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that the docking bays they have at the casino are working. Like, they have crew people. They have, like, you know, a dock master or whatever they normally would have. Because it is a casino, and I know they might not have all the employees there yet because it's not open yet, I don't think.
Well, my thinking is that they don't. But if you want to flip a light side point...
We only have one, don't we?
That is right now, yes, currently.
This is the devil. No, I'm not doing that.
All
Do
right.
it.
No, devil, no!
Do it.
Is it worth it to fix our ship?
I mean...
No, I have a better idea. We're not going to use it. I have a better idea. I'm going to save it. Because I feel like you used them more wisely than I have, Jamie, in the last 2 or 3 games. I've used them, and I feel like I've used them very incorrectly.
No, they're there to be used in any way we see fit.
There is no wrong way to use this resource, in a narrative sense or in a mechanical sense.
I will save it. I think we might need it later. So I'm going to save it. You can land on docks.
Yeah, I think that there is possibly like landing pads that are places, yeah, for shipments and stuff like that. Like, it's certainly not as built up as, say, the Sokoljal Towers or the Sajali CE, but it's a place you can land the ship safely.
Okay, that sounds about right. So yeah, we'll land there. As we're landing, I'm going to radio in to whatever control tower is available. Like, this is Beegax. I have the shipment from the Imperials. From Scarif as requested. Looking to land.
Yeah, just set it down and we'll unload it for you. You got all the cargo from Scarif, huh?
Yeah, a lot of building materials. Zalto, is he in?
You wanna talk to the boss?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let him know. Who do you say this was?
This is Beegax, the Slicer.
Beegax the Slicer, and...
Oh, my crew is, I got a droid and I got a human with me.
Yeah, I gotta know who they all are, you know. I've got my own job to do. Come on, be a guy, huh?
He looks to a verse, and he turns on the comms. I got a droid, medical droid named Elo. That's the model number there, or serial number. Human is a bodyguard of mine, named Verse.
Okay, that's great. I'll let him know. You just bring it in nice and easy.
You got it.
All right. I love you.
Nope. It's too early for that. It's too soon. Don't know you. Turns off the comms. Ship out. I've landed as gracefully as possible.
Boom, you land. Bunch of again, like the casino looks like a construction site, basically. Bunch of beings walking around in, like, I don't know, safety vests, building up stuff, going down deep into the foundation, working on stuff. Bunch of Weequay show up armed and start taking things off of your ship, all of the materials. One of them is like, come with me, I'll take you to the boss.
He'll nod. Elo and Verse, are they staying behind or are they coming with me?
Elo's coming.
Yeah, first will come.
Okay.
I can't miss those sweet, sultry tones of that Hutt, man.
Beegax is gonna look to Verse and be like, just be ready. I know how apprehensive you were about meeting a Hutt face to face. He's no different than what you think, trust me.
Yeah, I can't say it's high on my list, but gotta guard your body, so...
I hate laughs. Good. Then he'll look to Elo. I might say some things in there that don't align with our first goals, but trust me when I say it's going to get us out of the current entanglement we got.
What? What goals?
I'm talking to Elo.
As long as it leads us to Gur, I'm open to anything.
Hold on. Okay, good. And then I'll go to Verse. I'm trying to get out of a deal that I made with the Triumvirate, so just bear with me.
What?
Don't worry about it. Just shh. Yeah, he's coming. Just be quiet.
We are gonna have words about this later. I am very worried about this.
That's if there is a later.
Mom, Dad, calm down.
Oh, your sense of humor is way better now. I'm impressed.
Gotta go through a mind-altering experience, I guess. That happen.
So we'll take the elevator. Or we're walking with the guy, and then we'll get
You go back into this casino. Again, the entrance to this is beautiful, gorgeous. It still looks like it's being worked on, but you've got those, like, oh, it's so cool in here and nice. Stepping off the ship and walking over here, you feel that so core heat, and it sucks and it's hot and I'm sweating and I smell bad. And
oh, parallels. I love it.
But there's like the floor has those pretty fish. Oh, it looks great. Walk over to the elevator and this guy goes with you. Takes the elevator up and you are brought to the top level again, this penthouse sort of like office living space, balcony, and you see he brings you this Weequay, brings you over and to the hut, to this hut, enormous muscular hut. He seems to be sipping some disgusting looking beverage, and he greets the two of you.
Hello, and welcome back. Can I offer you anything to drink?
No, thank you, sir. Just came to talk to you about the mission and some other things. And he'll like motion if he can sit down. To like, I envision there's like a dip and there's these sofas and this like really ornate table that's got nothing on top of it, but it's just like, it's so gaudy. It has like the golden rim along the edges and like these curved legs, even though they're like short legs, they're just like this ornately curved and carved.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He nods for you to sit and like gestures over with his neck, worm-like, to Verse.
Who's your friend?
This is my personal bodyguard and very good shot, Verse. Local here, very talented. He kind of says talented, very skilled. Any emphasis on the skilled.
She does like a curt nod, but doesn't really say anything. And he says,
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Verse. I'm glad to see you They have done a very good job for me. I hear everything made it.
Yeah. The only problem I had was the Imperial officer who basically stood there and watched as I unload everything myself.
Yes, they are all very stuffy, those Imperial bureaucrats.
Yeah.
Were you able to get any data, use
And he wiggles his thick fingers.
your slicing skills to find out what's going on there?
Even on my best day, I wouldn't run into an Imperial data wall. That's, forgive my term of the word here, that's a little suicidal. But I have something else for you. I'm gonna flip our light side for you. If you allow me to do this. Considering that Beegax is very paranoid, since he's been running from the Empire for better part of a year, I think it was, maybe a little bit less. I'd like to say that his datapad has this thing that's basically recording when he has meetings with people,
Okay.
right? Audio, sometimes visual, depends on where he puts the datapad.
Okay.
Do I have any communique between myself and the Triumvirate? I know I spoke to P4 on the phone or on the comms once because I needed
When we needed money.
money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have that conversation and I'll present it to Zalto and I'll say, you know the Triumvirate? I'm sure you've heard of them.
Yes, I know them quite well.
And then I'll present the conversation where I'm asking for more money. It's just a recording like, hey, P4, we need money, blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, when I first came to Silkaro, a couple things happened. I met Placebo, did the job for him, which brought the attention of this group, the Triumvirate. And they locked down my ship, forced me into a meeting with them, in which they asked me to come here and eliminate you. And then I'm gonna put my blaster pistol on that very nice table, like slowly and just like not facing him, just like make it sideways, right? Just so it's out there in front of him, next to the datapad.
As soon as you reach for a weapon, you see this Weequay on the start to pull his blaster, but as you like place it slowly on the table, Salto just sort of like holds his hand up.
Now, after working for you and seeing how well you've treated myself and my associates, I would never dream of doing anything to you. You see, growing up on Malastare, you hear things about other species. You hear how the Imperials and all those humans under the Imperial rule love to spread out and take what's not theirs. You hear about Wookiees tearing people's arms off and beating them to death with them. And then you hear about Hutts and how they always manage to get you to do the things they want you to do. I don't believe that to be true. I think Hutts only show you the way. It's up to you to take the path or turn around. And in this case, I'm taking the path. I'm telling you that the Triumvirate, they're out for your head. I'm basically betraying them to tell you this, because I'd like your support. My friend, and he points to Elo, we have someone we're looking for and we know where they are. It's deep in the walled city, and betraying the Triumvirate means we can't really get in there. But, and he looks to the Weequay, you have a lot of friends, and I'm sure they'd be more than willing to help out another mutual friend of yours. And he points to himself.
This is a lot of information to take in all at once. Well, I do appreciate your forthrightness and honesty when it comes to killing me. Of course, that information isn't new. I know the Triumvirate would want my head ever since I came here. They've been wanting me dead. But it's interesting that they chose you. And I gotta say, You coming all the way here and putting a... What is that? What kind of blaster is that?
Let's just say it's, illegal.
That's what I thought. You gotta have Big Sack for that.
He looks down at his clothes. Sure, yeah.
Okay, Beegax, Botano, and Elo, and Verse.
And when you, like, when he, like, looks over, you just see Verse, like, she is just, like, looking at Beegax, like, what are you doing?
Want my help getting in this Ajala yeah, and you want to burn your, goodwill with the triumph. What, may I ask, got you to agree to do this for them?
Ah, like I said, they had me between a rock and a hard place. They had my ship on lockdown.
And the blackmail. Don't forget the blackmail.
The blackmail? What are they trying to blackmail me? Oh! That's right. And, we also, I had trouble with a bounty hunter a while back. We eliminated him, and he turned out to be part of a very powerful criminal syndicate. I forget the name, but I'm sure you'd recognize the emblem if I showed you. And I'll pull it up on a data pad, just like showing what the emblem looks like. Because I forgot. I think it's the...
It's concentric suns, like, or concentric circles with, looks like with little sun spikes there. It is the black sun.
Yeah, so he'll flip the image around so Zalto can see. The black sun.
I see.
Yeah, so I'm not... He puts his hand up. I'm not asking for protection from the black sun. That's our own grave. We dug that one. We can dodge it. But I just need help getting into the walled city to help my friend find who they're looking for. And I can be on my way and in your debt in the future for further work, perhaps. But you should know, my intention the minute I leave Socorro is to rarely, if ever, come back.
You got, more plans. Bigger aspirations.
Retirement is probably the biggest aspiration any slicer can ask for.
Everyone's got their own casino to build. I understand.
I think I need you to roll me a persuasion check.
I knew it was coming. I wanted to save the dice for this, but I was like, no, I need some kind of evidence. I need something. So it's negotiation, because there's no persuasion.
Negotiation, thank you. Yes, that's what it is. Let's do... Hold on, I gotta make sure this is correct. That's gonna be 3 red and 2 purple.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna have to roll another red, because I only have 2 reds.
Why is it so high?
Because this is Hutt.
We're telling the truth.
But this is what they're good at. Like, they're so good at negotiation.
They're very good at they're very good under this kind of pressure.
Oh, thank God. Okay, 2 success and 2 threat.
Wow, that is...
Yeah, I got... All of them had the zeros, and then some of them had these fake-ass Imperial symbols.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so scared I was going to see the little tribal despair.
The Hutt smiles, a big wet smile, and he says, licks his lips, takes another drink of his foul-smelling and looking cocktail.
Perhaps there is a way for you to use those slicing skills of yours. You see, that little conversation you played for me, it's helped to convince me that what you're telling me is the truth. But the problem I'm having, that I've always had, is I can't, even with this knowledge, I can't just go stomping around on the triumvirate turf. That would kick up way too much dust between them and my family. I need something a little bit more concrete. Something a little bit more damning in the form of evidence. So, why don't we do this? I help you, get into the walled city, unseen, undetected. And you bring for me proof of this whole silly deal. Threaten my life. With that, then I'll have some actionable evidence I can use to call upon my reinforcements.
Beegax looks to Elo to see their reaction.
Can we table talk for a second?
I can't. Can we? Is that allowed?
Yes. Oh, please. Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Here's an idea. We tell Zalto he needs to fake his own death. And we're going to tell the Triumvirate we killed him, get them to pay us, and get it recorded, and then show Zalto.
Oh, that's good. That's how they do it in the FBI. I love it. That's how they catch hitmen, I think, sometimes. Okay, yeah, I mean, that sounds like it could work, so...
Okay, then if that sounds like a feasible plan, Elo is going to suggest that when Beegax looks over at them and is going to say, perhaps there is a way that we can get the Triumvirate to confess to everything. And Elo is going to take a couple steps closer to Zalto. If we're able to get the Triumvirate to think that you are dead and that we killed you, we can definitely get them on tape confessing to all of their crimes.
That is an intriguing plan. May I ask, how do you intend to fake my untimely passing from this mortal coil?
Elo's going to look over at Beegax and just say, well, when is the last time you took a vacation? As in, like, let's just get you hidden away and we'll take it from there. Because I don't know. I don't know how we would do that. We'll figure that out.
Well, I think the time to figure it out is right now.
Okay. What do you think?
Is there any way we can make a double?
Oh.
Interesting.
You know, like, do we have any type of material generator or any waste material? We could do? We could get... There are a bunch of dead bodies out in the Badlands. A lot of Nikto, a lot of those tribal... I forget what they're called. You know,
how would we make that look like a hut, though?
Monarchs, yes.
So, if we collected them, brought them back, and made some kind of like, it has to look like a gang shooting or some sort of like gang standoff where we got rid of them. Dress them in like whatever attire the Hutt's normal guys wear. So borrow a few uniforms or whatever borrow a few pieces of armor. And then all we need is like, in Beegax's head, he just envisions like the Hutt dead in like a tub or something, and like some sort of pose where he was enjoying his opulent lifestyle, but you only see a portion of him. So we'd only need like a portion of this fake body, or maybe even we have him just pose for it, some sort of image, and then he hides per Elo's suggestion for like a couple, like 2 to 3 days, and then emerges with the evidence that
just
we got.
lay low, right?
Yeah,
just lay low for a couple days. We'll go to the Triumvirate. We'll get their confession. We'll come back to you, and then you can lay waste to them.
Again, this is very interesting. Are you sure we can make this convincing? The Triumvirate are, if nothing else, a shrewd and discerning bunch of criminals.
Any hollow data, hollow images we take, I can alter. It'll just take me some time. I have a new deck, and I've been itching to use some good slicing gear, so shouldn't be too difficult.
Slicing, yes, I think that's a part of it, but... Beegax, are you an artist?
I've had a streak of creative side sometimes, yeah.
Because I think this will need a dash of creativity as well. That's something you can handle.
Well, I am very good at altering images. It's something I have done in the past.
Is this true?
Yeah, so
Of
with
Beegax?
with the job for ISB, there was definitely a few misinformation things that he's had to do, like campaigns of dysphoria or propaganda. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
The TMZ, like, hey, we need this image, but we need it to look like this, or like make the guy on the ground have this type of iconography on his clothing. It's altering data points and code, and it still falls in his wheelhouse. But he had to have a creative flair to it. Not something he did all the time, but every once in a while, because most of the time it was intercepting messages and decoding them and cracking them.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that seems like it tracks to me.
Beegax replies back to the Hutt, to Zalto.
I'll be the artist.
All right then. So, what we need is a convincing dust up. Then you bringing in bodies, and you wanna stage this happening.
So, if you don't mind,
He looks to one of the guards,
have some of your boys go to these coordinates.
and he'll punch him into his data pad where like that big shootout with the truck and with the I forget what they call it. We call them like the seven serpents or whatever. Those like those snake rock formations that look like snakes. They had to shoot out.
Send your men there. Pick up about 5 to 6 of those dead guys. Bring them back here. I can take care of the rest.
I think we have ourselves on the verge of a deal.
Good.
Gotta say, I cannot wait to see what you come up with.
Zalto worms over to the carafe of liquid and pours himself another drink, and he says,
When do you need to get into the city? Sujali City.
As soon as possible. The sooner we get the information, the sooner we can focus on the task at hand. Because the minute we finish it, get the evidence for you, we need to leave. See, the final act, that's gonna be more of you and your crews. Center stage time. I mean,
He's trying to convince him at this point.
what's more prolific than a Hutt coming back from the dead?
And he'll say it with like a smile on his face, trying to like egg Zalto on, like, hey, like Act 3 is your time.
I'm already larger than life. I don't need coming back from the dead to make people know who I am.
Understood.
Come with me.
and he worms and slides and slithers over out towards the elevator.
He'll move with him.
Verse gets up, but you can see she is like seething. She is like, she's angry, but she also gets up and follows.
Elo is going to get up and follow as well. But before leaving, is going to give Zalto a solemn nod, like, okay, we're going to do this.
He wiggles and worms into the elevator and gets in. This Weequay follows in kind, and Zalto hits a series of buttons, and the elevator begins to descend. And it passes through this great shaft, this great elevator shaft that you can see goes all the way up to the top of what's being built at this casino, and it goes down, and you come toward the lobby, and the elevator begins to slide down further below the ground, and it opens up, and you seem to be in some kind of basement. Now there's just a sort of dimly lit hallway that leads somewhere underground, and Zalto goes,
After you.
Beegax looks down the hall.
Okay.
Is it long? What does this hallway look like?
yeah, it's pretty long, just like those overhead lights.
Oh no. getting real like Altered Carbon vibes right now. Alright, Beegax will move into the tunnel.
Yeah, this Weequay just like stares at you with his eyes as you walk out.
Elo's just gonna follow Beegax's lead. And if we're going down this creepy ass tunnel, I guess we're going down this creepy ass tunnel. I have an inkling that it's gonna lead us to the walled city, but I don't know where he's taking us right now.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, he could be killing us for all we know. Like at this point, he's like, "I'm done with you. I don't want to play games." Pop.
Right? Like, this is dumb. I'll just kill the triumvirate on my own time. Pew pew.
You make your way down this hall. This Weequay also eyes Elo. Just follow. And you march your way down this corridor. Zolto and this Weequay to your back. And you come to... The hallway seems to sort of like the development of it seems to... I want to say disappear. That's not the right word because I think that won't conjure what I'm trying to say. It's like the construction of it kind of ends. It seems to be like like the walls are now more rock and earth than they are concrete and some kind of like developed structure. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It goes from like, oh, this tunnel had pipe work and groundwork and something encasing the wall, so actually it looks like a tunnel, and then it falls off. There's no more. It's just packed dirt, packed earth.
Yeah, and like, supports just kind of like jutting out here and there, and you come to another elevator. This one, more of like an industrial elevator, and Zolto opens it up. You start to go down again, assuming you all clamber on board. And now, and it's much cooler down here, you come into this vacuous, cavernous space that just looks like tunnels. And there are some lights and stuff that are strung up around where people are doing, where there looks like there is construction going on. Nobody's down here, though. It is just you. And these tunnels are rather large and look like they branch off, and they look very similar to the tunnel that you fell in the Badlands. Zolto looks at you and smiles, and he says,
Follow these tunnels and take you right to the walled city, right underneath.
Okay. Thanks.
And he looks at like how long they are, and just thinking like it was far to go on without us like by a speeder.
You got any speeders down here?
and he like looks over and there's like, they're not speeders, but it's like they're like mining forklifts basically. Maybe Beegax's heart sinks a little bit because these are slow, like cumbersome vehicles and not
faster than on foot, you know.
But they are vehicles, and he nods over to that and he says,
Now I must admit, we haven't fully explored all these tunnels. We know they lead under Sajalisa E, but exactly how far they go and what is down there, we don't fully know.
Well, it's not my first tunnel I've been in in Socorro, to be sure, so you can say we have some experience with situations like this.
Oh, well, you're already an expert, surprising me every single day.
Beegax nods.
Yeah, I aim to surprise, I guess.
And he'll climb into the driver's seat of this mining forklift. I envision it having like an empty back bed for where you put like building materials and stuff. So he'll look to Verse and Elo and say,
Alright, better get moving.
Verse is like, sucks her teeth and she's like, yeah, better get moving. And she climbs in.
Oh shit, she pissed.
well, I mean, she can shoot me if she's pissed. It's fine. It's not the first woman I've upset, and it won't be the last. No.
It was supposed to be one job, and now it's turned into...
Like 2.5, 3 jobs.
Like, yeah, 2.5, 3 jobs. Yep. We gotta pay her some more
I'll
money.
pay her more, yeah. I'll pay her more for sure.
Yeah, so you're in the truck. Zalto stands there still like drinking. Oh, he does what Jamie just did right now. He like holds his goblet and he just like drinks everything in the cup and like uses his big tongue to like lick his mouth. Yeah.
There's some Foley for you.
And Beegax, Elo, and Verse go driving into the dark, leaving the halo of lights from this construction site into the underground, once again venturing into the unknown of Silver Road. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's a simple thing that will really help us grow the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Elo is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in the show is provided with permissions by a variety of artists and are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like the show. The Star Wars role-playing system and books are published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you. And that's our game.
Woo!
Oh, shit.
God damn.
I can't believe that worked.
We
don't know if it worked.
I mean,
but...
it kind of did. I need to get out of all the deals, right? And I know that. I knew that we couldn't get out of both.
We keep taking more and more deals on.
I like that you've come down on a side, and I'm excited about this plan. I think this will be fun. So
I think so too.
Jamie took it a step further with the faking the death. I didn't even think about that. I was like, damn, that's good.
I was like, let's fake his death. I don't know exactly how we're gonna do that because you said you wanted to like doctor some pictures. I think we should make it look like we pushed him out a window. Because why not? He does it to people, right?
Oh, he throws them down elevator shafts. That's like ancient mafia stuff right there. 1940s, 1930s Vegas style shit.